She won't tell you, she won't admit it, but her behavior will. Before a woman cheats, she changes. Her words stay the same, but her patterns betray her. And most men, they're blind to it until it's too late. But you don't have to be. Today, I'm breaking down the subtle psychological shifts that scream she's about to cross a line, or maybe already has. If you notice these signs, don't ignore them. Because when she starts doing this, she's already halfway out the door. 1. She picks fights for no reason, so she feels justified. You know that feeling when something feels off, but you can't put your finger on it? She's edgy, snappy, suddenly turning small disagreements into big battles. And you're left wondering, where is this coming from? Here's the harsh truth. When a woman is about to cheat or is already thinking about it, she often starts picking fights for no reason. At first, it seems random. Maybe she complains about the way you text. Maybe she's irritated about how you didn't notice her new outfit. Maybe she blows up over something as small as leaving a dish in the sink. But here's what you need to understand. It's rarely about the dish. It's about justification. See, cheating doesn't usually start with the act itself. It starts with a story she tells herself, a story that lets her cross a line she knows she shouldn't cross. And that story often sounds like this. He doesn't really care about me. He doesn't treat me right. I deserve more. So what does she do? She picks fights. She creates distance. She builds a wall of conflict between you, not because she wants to fix anything, but because that wall makes her feel justified in what she's about to do. This is how the cycle works. She feels an attraction to someone else. Guilt sets in. That guilt feels unbearable until she reframes the narrative. Suddenly, you're the bad guy. You're inattentive. You're selfish. You're cold. And once she convinces herself of that, cheating no longer feels like betrayal. It feels like payback or liberation. That's why these fights often seem irrational. It's not about solving a problem. It's about creating emotional distance so she can do what she wants without feeling like she's betraying the good guy. And pay attention to the pattern. The frequency of arguments spikes. What used to be minor annoyances suddenly become deal-breaking issues. The tone changes. She's no longer trying to resolve conflict. She's trying to provoke it. These fights end with slammed doors, cold silences, or her storming out. She brings up the past. Suddenly, old mistakes you thought were buried get dragged out as ammo. All of it serves one purpose, to make her feel like she's morally justified in betraying you. Here's the painful truth. If she's doing this, she's not looking for resolution. She's looking for a way out. If you try to reason with her during these fights, it won't work. She doesn't want to be calmed down. She doesn't want to see your side. She wants fuel. Fuel for the narrative she's crafting in her head that makes it okay for her to go where she's already emotionally gone. And this is where most men get blindsided. They think these fights are just rough patches. They think if they try harder, buy flowers, apologize, do more, it will smooth things over. But it doesn't. It only reinforces her story. He's scrambling now because he knows he messed up. He's only trying because I've checked out. So how do you spot it? It's all in the emotional shift. Before, disagreements had a goal, to resolve things. Now, they're theatrical, endless, designed to push you away rather than bring you closer. She doesn't want solutions. She wants distance. If she's suddenly picking fights that feel like they came out of nowhere, don't ignore it. Don't write it off as stress. Don't pretend it's just a phase. It's a red flag. Because in her mind, she's no longer in a relationship she feels committed to. She's building an exit strategy, one where she gets to leave as the victim, not the betrayer. Real quick, before we go deeper, I've got something powerful for you. It's a free ebook called The Attraction Handbook. Inside, you'll learn how to make her crave you using just a few psychological moves. It's free for now, so grab it in the description or the pinned comment below. 2. She becomes overly nice out of nowhere. It sounds strange, doesn't it? We expect red flags to show up as distance, coldness, or fighting. But one of the most overlooked signs a woman is about to cheat, or already has, is the opposite. She suddenly becomes overly nice. At first, it feels like a dream. She's complimenting you more. She's more affectionate. She's cooking your favorite meals, planning date nights, laughing at jokes she normally would roll her eyes at. She's acting like the woman you always wanted her to be. But deep down, you feel it. Something's off. And here's why. That sudden sweetness. It's not because she woke up one day with a newfound appreciation for you. It's guilt. When a woman is on the edge of cheating or already has crossed the line, she feels the weight of what she's doing. And that guilt leaks out as overcompensation. She's trying to quiet the voice in her head that says she's betraying you. She's trying to even the emotional scale by treating you better than usual, so she feels less like the villain in her own story. This is why this behavior often feels so disorienting. It doesn't match her baseline. If she's been distant for weeks, suddenly she's all over you. If she's been critical or cold, now she's sweet and agreeable. If she's been disengaged, now she's asking about your day, your feelings, your plans. And men fall for it every time. They think, finally, she's back to her old self. Things are getting better. But no, they're not. It's not genuine closeness. It's guilt management. Here's what to watch for. Her behavior changes overnight. There's no gradual improvement, just a sudden, jarring shift into sweetness. She showers you with random acts of kindness, gifts, compliments, extra attention, things she hasn't done in months. She avoids conflict at all costs. Suddenly, she's not nagging or arguing about things she used to care about. She's going along with everything. This isn't growth, it's avoidance. She doesn't want to argue because arguments make her feel like a hypocrite. She doesn't want to pick fights because fights break the illusion that everything is fine. And the scariest part? This phase doesn't last. Because the guilt doesn't stay guilt forever. It either festers until she leaves, or she justifies her actions enough that she stops feeling guilty altogether. Psychologically, this behavior makes perfect sense. Cheating, or even emotionally preparing to cheat, creates internal conflict. On one hand, she wants the thrill, the escape, or the emotional validation she's getting from someone else. On the other hand, she doesn't want to see herself as a bad person. So what does she do? She balances the scale in her mind. She tells herself, yes, I'm doing something wrong, but look how good I'm being to him. Look how nice I am. I still care. It's twisted, but it's how the human brain self-soothes when we're violating our own values. This is why you need to pay attention to the why behind the behavior, not just the behavior itself. If she's being nice because the two of you have genuinely been reconnecting, that's one thing. But if her sweetness comes out of nowhere, disconnected from any real effort to address your relationship's deeper issues, it's not a breakthrough, it's a mask. And behind that mask, she's either already done something she feels guilty for, or she's about to. 3. She suddenly guards her phone like it's her life. Her phone used to be just another object on the table, another accessory in her bag. You'd sit next to her, maybe even glance at it, and she wouldn't flinch. But now, it's glued to her hand, face down, locked with a new password, taken with her into the bathroom, even for a quick shower. This isn't just a habit change. This is a red flag. When a woman is on the verge of cheating or already entertaining someone else, her phone becomes her vault, and vaults are meant to be guarded. People don't suddenly become protective of their devices for no reason. If she's now acting like her phone contains state secrets, it's because, in her mind, it does. And this isn't just about physical cheating. Emotional cheating, flirty messages, late-night innocent chats, a growing emotional connection, can be just as threatening to a relationship. Her behavior gives it away long before you ever see a text. Pay attention to these subtle but telling signs. The phone never leaves her side. Even at home, where she used to leave it charging on the counter, it's now within arm's reach. Always. She changes her habits. Maybe she used to leave her phone face up. Now it's face down. Maybe she never had a password. Now she does, and she won't share it. She suddenly becomes private. You ask a simple question about who she's texting, and she gets defensive, even hostile. Here's the psychology behind it. When someone's behavior changes overnight, there's always a reason. And in this case, it's fear. The fear of being caught. That phone is now her lifeline to another world. A world where she's someone different, someone exciting, someone desired. And that connection, whether physical or just emotional, thrives in secrecy. She guards it not just from you, but from herself. Because as long as she can keep that world hidden, she doesn't have to confront the guilt of what she's doing. And don't get distracted by excuses. Oh, I just value my privacy. I've always been like this. It's just work stuff. Number. If this behavior is new, if this level of secrecy wasn't there before, it's not about privacy, it's about hiding. Have you ever seen these signs before and realized the truth too late? Comment below. I've seen it. Let's see how many men have lived through this lesson.